YouTube, what's going on, guys? Patrick here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Guys, I want to talk about ADA, Cardano. I think it's ready for a massive breakout, and I want to share with you guys my exact price targets and where I think it is headed. We're also going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some really bullish and really interesting news that came out in the crypto market. At the end of the video, we're going to be doing a little bit of car shopping, so stay tuned all the way until the end. It's going to be a lot of fun. But it's a green day in the market. In fact, it actually was a much greener day in the market before this recent pullback that we had. And that's where I want to start off with talking about Bitcoin before we jump into the Cardano, the ADA situation. Because we talked about Bitcoin in the last video 2 days ago on Monday. That is pretty much this green candle that came in. We shared everything that went on leading up to that green candle. We shared how Bitcoin had never turned bearish on the big picture. On the bigger time frames, Bitcoin was still bullish, and all we saw happen, which we have been talking about for a very long time, is the fact that we were coming back down to touch this trend line on the daily time frame, which we have had on our chart for a very long time. And that's pretty much exactly what we saw happen. It came down, it touched in that area, didn't touch it exactly, depending on how you draw it, it would have touched. We went into the range. That's the most important part. And now it's already seeing a bounce. Now, I preemptively drew this. It only had, the initial start and then one touch since then. It's not necessarily a confirmed area that we are going to necessarily reject off of, but I wanted to draw this here just to keep an eye out, just in case it happened. Remember, this top, although it was higher than this top, it was, in price-wise, this top was lower than this top, which we obviously like to see Bitcoin make higher highs. We saw Bitcoin make officially what looks like a higher low, which is extremely bullish, but we obviously had that bearish divergence come in with the lower high on the RSI, the higher high here. That led to the price drop. We had all that covered. Now, Bitcoin recently did something really important because on the 4-hour, we are now breaking above the EMA ribbon after being under it ever since the 22nd of February, which is when we had the start of the big sell-off going from 58.5K all the way down to a low of 43.1. We also had a bet going on if Bitcoin was going to touch $60,000 first or $38,000 first. And at first we thought, well, 38 starting to look a lot more likely. We've reversed. We are now above the point we were when we set that bet. I believe we were at like 48, 49,000. We're at 51. Now 60 starts to look a lot better. And I didn't share with you guys what my thoughts were when we were making the bet because I wanted you guys to put your bets in first without necessarily just saying what I was going to say. I'm going to go ahead and say 60K. I thought 60K back then. Obviously, I'm a little delayed saying it. It might look a little bit of like a, oh, okay, shocker, 60K now. But no, really back then it was 60K, now 60K. I think 60K before 38K. Let's see how it does play out. But the bullish flip is coming in for the EMA ribbon. Obviously looking really good. A retest of that wouldn't be surprising whatsoever. And this red candle might be explained if we go to the 1 hour where we actually have a comeback down to retest of the EMA ribbon on the 1 hour time frame. We saw the bullish flip, obviously good. It had the move up to the first resistance, which was at around 49,500. Then came back down, went into the EMA ribbon, had the break above that into the high height already making a higher high at this point, broke above this level, which is obviously really good, went up to a peak of 52,600, came back down and touched the EMA ribbon, or even can say to like try to get into this support range before. Now it looks like it might be ready for its next leg to the upside, which is very exciting. But that's the Bitcoin situation, what we've seen happen. Looking really good right now. Went from making lower lows here and even lower highs, which is a bearish situation, to now breaking above, making higher lows on these smaller time frames, as well as breaking above the high here, and now making a new high, which is above this high area as well, changing the trend into being now a more bullish trend. And we can, even if we want to, draw an early trend line that we might be seeing Bitcoin play within, bouncing here. Now, again, maybe something we see happen, Bitcoin has something like this to bounce off of. Again, we just had the initial and the first touch. It's not a confirmed mega trend line at the moment, just something to look forward to in case we do see that play out. But let's move into Cardano. Everybody's talking about Cardano, a ton of hype. You guys know, if you've been following the channel, I've been in Cardano since Cardano was like, I've liked Cardano. I've been talking about Cardano since Cardano was under 20 cents. Even under 10 cents, I believe there was a time we were talking about it on the channel. And I was telling you guys, I mean, it's one of the most hyped up projects. There were times where I thought it was overvalued for what they had actually delivered so far. And at those times, it was higher than, 20 cents something in a few years ago. I was out of it. It wasn't the time that I was going to be buying in. But at the low levels, I thought it was undervalued, especially playing the long-term game of what was going to come out and what we thought was going to happen. And just overall, the potential that Cardano had. But it all started with this breakout pattern here that we drew. Cardano consolidated in a narrowing price range. We saw a breakout was going to happen. Things were looking pretty good in the market at the time. We expected Cardano to break to the upside. Now, I had Cardano obviously for a long-term portfolio as well as a short-term trade, which we posted in the trailer group. We'll talk about that in just a second, but we posted it there. We obviously were able to capitalize very, very well on that Cardano trade. Since then, Cardano has now formed a trend line with multiple touches and a few wicks below it, just something to watch out for. A few wicks below it, not staying there for very long, even on the 1 hour time frame, mostly trading above this trend line, bouncing above this trend line. However, we are currently forming another breakout pattern for Cardano, at least a little bigger of a breakout pattern. You can see, like, even in this situation, there was technically a breakout pattern here that you could have drawn, right? A smaller one on the 1 hour time frame would have worked out really well. This is a little bit bigger of a play, right? So a little bigger of a breakout pattern, consolidating price action, narrower range, currently at $1.23. If this breaks to the upside, what we can expect to happen, targets, obviously you want to secure profits along the way if you're in a trade, even in your long-term portfolio. Look for times where Cardano maybe starts to hit a peak, maybe look to take some profits around there, buy back when Cardano has a dip, play that cycle over and over again. You don't just want to hold forever. If you hold, I'm under the, to me, the way I've been able to make my money, the way that I've been able to be successful consistently and faster in the market is by buying dips, right? I don't want to buy something one time and hold on to it forever and never sell it, because at that point you're never securing any profit. Yeah, okay, in theory, Cardano could go to $1 million and you would still be holding the Cardano, you still haven't sold it, you still have no money to do anything with, right? So if you're looking to actually profit from it, take some money out, you want to look at points where you're going to actually sell. That being said, if you're in a short-term trade, looking around, the high 120s, looking then at like the 140s, you want to then look at breaking potentially the peak that we had over here, breaking the peak of the triangle pattern, breaking the peak up here. I think Cardano highest targets right now in the short-term trade, we're looking, like I said, high 120s, we're looking at 140s, looking at 160s, then we're looking at around 190 to $2, which would be, an incredible jump for Cardano, but not something that would necessarily be unheard of, because it is one of the most popular cryptocurrencies on the market right now, and probably one of, if not the most talked about and the most exciting cryptocurrency at the time as well, and for good reason. It's a good cryptocurrency. I've been saying that since it was 7 cents, 10 cents. It's a good cryptocurrency with a lot of potential. Now, obviously, there is the potential break to the downside here. What you want to watch out for, potentially having a stop loss if you're in a short-term trade and you want to, again, wait to rebuy maybe at a lower level. The trend line would be a good opportunity if it does break down and you want to dollar cost average or maybe have a re-entry. Watch out for the trend line. If it does something like this and has the bounce, it will work the same way for a longer term portfolio. This would be a good time to dollar cost average. This, if you're in a trade and you want to enter here, watch out for a breakout, something else to look forward to. But I wanted to highlight it. Everyone's talking about Cardano. You guys know I've been talking about Cardano for a minute if you've been on the channel, for a minute. And again, similar thing on the RSI. I actually drew here multiple touches on this trend line for the RSI. It is starting to come down a little bit, still has some room to kind of trade sideways while it does come back down to potentially retest. It doesn't need to do that though. Just keep an eye out on it. Some exciting things coming out, some exciting things in the news coming out. Part of the reason why, we've had a little bit of a price action spike, but higher highs, higher lows, bullish trend, daily time frame above the EMA ribbon, bullish trend. We can still come back down, retest it and move up. Looks like a bullish trend if that happens still. The 4 hour, we retested inside the EMA ribbon, bullish trend, still above the EMA ribbon until we break below. The 1 hour time frame, this is the one that gets a little trickier because it is a tight band, no clear direction at the moment. We did flip bearish, now it's trying to flip bullish again. It was above, but 1 hour time frame is the one that's a little bit tricky, but it is up 600% year to date. Obviously, we know that a lot of cryptos are up a good amount, but the most important thing here is the Google searches for it has skyrocketed. People are looking at Cardano. People are keeping an eye out on it compared to what it was back here. It is significantly higher right now to what it was in the peak of 2017, the last bull run. It is one of the most popular, it's probably the most popular crypto, right? Take Bitcoin for like the mass market. Everybody talks about Bitcoin. Cardano within the crypto community is probably the most popular crypto that people have been looking at for years and years and years and years. So it's still hyped up to this day, even after years and years and years of people looking at it, being excited, dollar cost averaging, all that stuff. Now, if you guys want to see the trades that myself, my expert team are entering in real time, we do not buy things first, then post it. It pumps and we sell. We are not trying to sell our bags on you. We actually trade profitably without needing to do that, which is something that most people can't say. And I've seen a lot of people get burned in the market because they follow people who will buy a small altcoin. They will pump it and, put out a bunch of content saying it's going 100x, pump that thing, they're gonna sell their bags and everybody else gets stuck holding it. Not a fan of that. Really, really, really shitty thing to do. And it happens a lot. But we'll give you all of our altcoin trades. We'll give you every one of our leverage trades as well. We use Bybit for leverage trades, Binance for altcoin trades. You'll get access to the #1 community in the space. But most importantly, it is free for 14 days. So for 2 weeks after you sign up, you're not gonna get charged, nothing like that. It's a free trial. We're gonna show you every trade. We're not gonna hide anything. We're pulling back the curtain, showing you what it's really like day trading profitably in the cryptocurrency space. If you don't like it, if it doesn't work for you, you can cancel. You'll avoid getting charged. Really, it's as simple as that. Now moving back into some exciting news. Netflix might be the next Fortune 100 firm to buy Bitcoin. Tim Draper, obviously a very big Bitcoin bull, been bullish on Bitcoin since Bitcoin was like 3K, this guy. So, he's been on our side, let's call it. He's been on the winning side. Can't say much about that. The winning side, everyone knows what it is. It's, he's smart guy. We saw Tesla. There's been rumors of Apple, Apple already with Apple Pay already signing up with BitPay. Very, very good. Yeah, I think a platform like Netflix, which is fully digital, everything they do online, I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised with most Fortune 100 firms buying in. Fortune 500, I think a lot of these guys probably already are in, or they're going to get in. Now, Ethereum, just really quick, because this blows my mind. People are freaking out. Ethereum's bearish. It's over. It's over for Ethereum. It's done. There's nothing it can do anymore. Guys, the daily time frame, the EMA ribbon, all we've done is come and test the bottom of the EMA ribbon. We looked like we might have wanted to have that break to the downside. However, we ate that wick right back up. It had no confirmation that we broke below. If you entered a trade here, a long position, buying in at the EMA ribbon support, you're already in a very good amount of profit. That doesn't mean we can't reject and start coming down. All I'm saying is for right now, way too early to panic on the bigger time frames. You could have panicked on the 4-hour time frame. You could have, it flipped bearish. You could have been like, hey, 4-hour bearish. We trade shorts now. We look for a short position until it flips back up, which again, it's trying to break above right now. Fine. 1-hour time frame, fine. Yeah, it broke below. Yeah, we're trading shorts. It's bearish on the 1-hour time frame. This one already had a flip. Watch out for that as well. But the big picture, for anybody saying, it's over on the big picture, a little early, bud. A little early to start calling Ethereum done. It's still the second biggest crypto, like it hasn't, I don't think it's flipped yet. It's still there. Now this is big. North America car dealership company accepts crypto payments for its vehicles. HGreg. Now, I got some beef with HGreg. I went on to the HGreg site where I was like, hey, it accepts Bitcoin, wouldn't have to cash it out to buy it. Let's see what they got to offer. It's not bad. We sorted from high to low price, obviously. An Aventador S, nice. A Cullinan actually could be tax deductible depending on how you do it, depending on where you live. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying there are ways. The Rolls-Royce Wraith looks pretty good. The McLaren, let me know. We've looked at Lambos. We looked at Rolls-Royce. We've looked at McLaren. There's a Ferrari here somewhere. Trust. There's a Ferrari here somewhere. I saw it. There's some Porsches. G-Wagon. Wouldn't spend, I wouldn't spend $300,000 on a G-Wagon. Here's the Ferrari. So you've got the list of the biggest names. Let me know down below what you guys think. Now, this is where I have beef. 2017 Lamborghini Huracan. 4,000 miles for $250K? I went to look at one pretty much the exact same. The color was different. It was or there was a black one and there was a red one, but it was a 2017 Lamborghini Huracan with under 5,000 miles. And it was for much closer to 200K than 250. So these prices look a little inflated. Not a fan. Not a fan whatsoever, H. Greg. So, but I mean, yeah, congrats on accepting Bitcoin. Not congrats on what looks like to me higher pricing than I've seen in other places. Not a fan of that stuff. But either way, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. We're seeing car dealerships accept crypto for good reason, fast transactions, and a lot of rich people in crypto. A lot of rich mofos in crypto. Recently, yeah, people are making bank. And you know the joke, crypto, you know, when Lambo, people want to buy Lambos, people want to buy Ferraris, people want to buy McLarens, people want to buy Rolls Royces. It just, I mean, it's a match made in heaven, the car dealerships accepting Bitcoin. But let me know, which one of these would you buy? You got the big brands, right? Ignore the price. Ignore the price. You got the big brands. You got the, you know, hottest models, from the Aventador S to the Cullinan to the Wraith to the Ghost to the 720S to the 488 to the 458. The 458 before it, obviously. It's, you've got all the models. Which one are you taking? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm curious to see. I still heavily lean, I don't know. I heavily lean towards a Lambo, number one. Two, I'm in between the 488 or the Rolls Royce, because the Rolls Royce, I've been inside one. It's very nice. But the Lambo is also a Lambo, and it's also, I've also test drove the Lambo, and it's also very, very nice. So let me know your thoughts. You guys got free picks. Obviously, I'm not buying it for you. If you guys want to buy it, that's your own cash. Hit up H. Greg. But if price wasn't a thing, which one are you guys buying? Let me know down below in the comments. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time on Friday for another video.